Peace and blessings, family. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the divine person of Master Farad Muhammad. I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed his last and greatest messenger. And I thank these two for leaving one in our midst, at least for me, that is a light to show and bear witness that God is here, right? And that person is the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In these three great names, I greet you that tunes in the greeting words of peace, in the Arabic terminology, Assalamu alaikum. Family, listen, thank you. I just want to, this is a brief message, how to eat to live, family, how to eat to live. This is the gift from God in person, right? Where it fulfills scripture that God comes giving life abundantly, right? It fulfills scripture where we get a return unto our own, right? Man, listen, and in here, when we're looking at one of the beautiful things we learn, right? In book 1, page 52. Right? Page 52, How to Eat to Live, book 1. The chapter is how to live more than 100 years, right? And you hear, for those that hear me on a regular, you hear me often teaching or reminding of this particular chapter and the importance of it, right? So it says that Allah has taught me in the person of Master Farad Muhammad how to eat to live so that I may teach you. He desires to extend our lives from a short span, averaging 62 years, to a span of 1,000 years, or for as long as we desire to live. He said there is no set time for us to die, right? We kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. Right? So when we are looking at this, right? So now it's, to me, it brought to my mind, being a scientist, that it is what kills us, not how long, right? So when we are looking at this, and that there is no set time for us to die, right? So now it's not, this brings about, like I said, the picture is what kills us. We kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, what we drink. How long that takes, that's individual. Some, they don't last that long. Some, it was a conversation on social media, right? With a brother, he said that his grandmother is 90 years old and smokes cigarettes, right? Some, it takes a long period of time. Some, it takes a short period of time, right? So when we are looking at this, now it takes us into what kills us, right? So when we go into that, there's a category called causes of death. So now I wanted to talk about how to eat to live and how to overcome the causes of death. Because when you're looking at the causes of death, you got heart disease, right? You got cancer. You got respiratory problems, right? And you got it's a list of, and this is when you die, they tell you what killed you, not how long you've been alive, because there is no set time for you to die. So even if you die at 200, you still have to have a cause of death. The human body just doesn't drop dead. There is a reason that the human body dies. And the beauty of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in particular, how to eat to live. If we weren't born with it, then how do you get this cause of death? See, that's the question. If you were not born with heart disease, if you were not born with cancer, if you were not born with a respiratory problem or any of the other conditions on that list, then how did you get it, right? So now, briefly, there's a second list, right? This is the causes of death. So now you have another list that's called the actual causes of death, right? So now this list is the precursor for the causes of death, because this list causes the heart disease, cancer, respiratory infections, and things like this. So when you're looking at, okay, when I die and they open me, do an autopsy, and they determine my cause of death, did I die when I was ready to die? Because there is no set time for us to die. See, we got to understand that beautiful blessing from How to Eat to Live, because they have medical sciences on the causes of death, right? So, bam, the actual causes of death. Number one, smoking. This is 15.6%, right? Number two, poor diet and lack of exercise. This is 14.6%, right? Then you got number three, alcohol. This is 3%, right? You got number four is microbial agents. This is at 1%. Everything 5 and below is less than 1% of what causes heart disease, cancer, respiratory infections, and all that other things. So when we are looking at the actual causes of death, and we put that with, he desires to extend our lives from a short span averaging 62 years to a span of 1,000, or for as long as you desire to live. Now, that's not magical. That's not somebody sitting somewhere with a keyboard or a screen and saying, okay, I'm going to give you 20 more years. I'm going to give you 30 more years. I'm going to give you 50 more years. No, because listen, he said, there is no set time for us to die. We kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. So that's medically, scientifically, that's called the actual causes of death. This world has a term for it. It's called the actual causes of death, right? So these are the things that we do. Look, smoking and poor diet and lack of exercise, they account for almost all of those causes of death, heart disease, cancer. See, when a person has that, those pre-existing health conditions, which also is known as the causes of death, right? So when we are looking at that, look, so if you're not smoking, and let's just say you are eating to live, well, lack of exercise is just as deadly as if you aren't eating to live and if you aren't smoking. See, there is no set time for us to die. We kill ourselves daily by what we think. If you don't think that you have a lack of exercise, see, you could think about your life improperly with wrong information, because this is from God in person. So we can take it or let it alone. But as a benefactor of it, right? Man, I was on a path to death. Look at the other testimonies of those believers and non-believers that just apply the principles. They go from a state of death to a state of living. All praise is due to Allah. That's the gift of life abundancy that's prophesied in scripture, right? So look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, before the white man was made, the black man was known to live approximately 1,000 years. How and why? Because before the European, there was no smoking. Before the European, there was no poor diet and lack of exercise. Before the European, there was no fire water. Before the European, we didn't have these microbial agents that we now have, what they call biological warfare. This what they did to the Indians with the smallpox and the blankets. The Tuskegee Institute or experiment with us and syphilis, right? It's the atomic bomb. See, we didn't have causes of death. So this came with the making of the European, just like eating meat and all of the other dangerous things that we do, right? So look, he says, we are the God of our own appetite in what we eat. So, and that's important because we will get stuck looking for God or somebody else to give me the strength to overcome my causes of death. Smokers, we will look, man, I need boom, boom, boom. That's your appetite. All of these are appetites, right? So when we are looking, we are the God of our own appetite in what we eat, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Listen, I want to show you something, man. Look, he says we have fire, but if we don't use it rightly, it is because of our own foolishness. So we know that there's no set time for us to die. And we know how we kill ourselves. And we know that in modern medicine, these ways are called the actual causes of death that lead to the causes of death. So scientifically and medically, right? If we wipe out alcohol and all of these things, right? And we wipe out poor diet and lack of exercise, and we wipe out smoking, then we literally erase this list of actual causes of death. So he says, before the white man was made, the black man was known to live approximately 1,000 years. He ate the right food and ate it at the right time because there was nobody here to teach him contrary. Family, look. So the question is, since you know that, look, since we now know that there is no set time for us to die, the question that arises in my mind, and what I think should arise in the intelligent mind, how long do you want to live? Woo! How long do you want to live? There is no set time for you and I to die. We know how we kill ourselves, right? So now, how long do you want to live? There is a category called premature death. Look, how long do you want to live? There's a category that deals with premature death.
is called the YPLL, right? So when you're looking at this, this is called the years of potential life loss. This is a category. So in How to Eat to Live, book 1, page 52, he says, he desires to extend our lives from a short span averaging 62 years, right, to a span of 1,000 years, or for as long as we desire to live. So here in America, and in almost every industrialized country, the average lifespan is 75. So when Master Fard Muhammad came, he found us barely able to get to 62. Today, look at these young Black men dying. Look at these young sisters dying from diabetes, high blood pressure, and easily obesity, things that are self-inflicted, the actual causes of death, the things that we do, we develop in our lifestyle, right? So when Master Fard Muhammad came wanting to extend our lives past a short span of 62, right? So that's 13 years. That means the YPL, this is any death under 75 years is considered premature. Look, any death under 75 years is considered a premature death, and it's a YPLL, years of potential life. So that means if you die at 62, you had 13 years of potential life, at least 13 years of potential life lost. So look at this. Look at your life. Look at your lifestyle. Do you have a YPLL count? Will you at least make it to 75? So look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that it takes 75 years to learn how to live. But if we don't eat to live, we will destroy the physical body prematurely. We will struggle to make it to 75, right? Look at, so this is the gift of life. So How to Eat to Live teaches us how to overcome the causes of death. It's not just about recovering from diabetes or obesity or some other, or cancer. No, because you will shortchange this wisdom. No, you will shortchange this with the potential, because this goes to the heart of death. Because many of us think that death is something that happens because of somebody else sitting somewhere saying, my time is up. No, we are relieved of that. Allah, God, has taught me in the person of Master Fard Muhammad how to eat to live so that I may teach you. He desires to extend our lives from a short span averaging 62 to a span of 1,000 years, or for as long as we desire to live. He said there is no set time for us to die, that we kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. What a beautiful God. What a beautiful God. That's life, man. Before that, I have never read those words anywhere else. I've read how beautiful humans are, black people are, how great we are, right? I've heard all of that. We built the pyramids, we built this, Atlantis, and the moon, but I've never heard such a gift. And as someone that's 48, or I will be 48 in a few more weeks, right? Man, that's wanting to extend my life past that short span of 62. See, I don't want to have a YPLL count. I don't want to have a premature death because I wasn't born, well, I was born with a defective heart, but I can overcome that. You are what you eat, right? So unless you were born with a condition that causes death, the only other way it can be caused is if we cause it. All praises due to Allah. Man, look, I just wanted to come and share that, right? Remember, years of potential life lost. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that it takes 75 years to learn how to live, and he gives us the knowledge to surpass the physical age of 75 without aging. That's if you desire now. If you desire it, he can teach you how to grow young because we're made of cells. It's not magical. So the cells in your body are controlled by you. Remember, we kill our cells daily by means of what we think. So how do you think you're going to heal yourself? How do you think you're going to extend your life? By the reverse way, we kill ourselves. So if we thought that I kill myself by the way I think, the way I eat, and the way I drink, I'm going to reverse engineer death. I'm going to reverse engineer death, right? So now I'm going to use my thinking process, the science of thought and the art of thinking. I'm going to use that eating process and that drinking process to give me life and to extend my life for as long as I desire, because that's what the book says. That's what God said. So when I ask you this question, right? When I ask you this question, I don't ask you for you to answer me. I ask you for you to answer you, because the first process is by what the means of thinking. So if you haven't even thought about your lifespan and your cause of death, right? Then you're going to leave it up to an external force to come in and kill you. How long do you want to live? Man, Islam is mathematics. So if the answer in life is mathematical, remember we're made of cells. So whatever number you pick, right? How are your cells going to die when you get to that number? We know the causes of death. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us the answer to that. He said that when we got tired of living, we broke the dietary laws. See, are you tired of living already? So, see, we ate to live because we wanted to live. When we got tired of living, we broke the dietary law. So if you are breaking the dietary laws right now, go to your thinking. Are you tired of living? How long do you want to live? All praises due to Allah. Here at Supreme Health and Wellness, we have solutions. We have therapies that help you to not just The answer is yours. You got to be happy with your life. You got to want to live, right? And then once you get that desire, now you have to actualize it by getting the proper means. So we show you how to grow your own food so you know you will have the best food, right? We show you how to exercise. We show you how to overcome the actual causes of death so you can literally, physically live as long as you want. That's all up to you. Family, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate any and each of you, all of you, right? I pray that this brief message was received in the spirit that I was striving to deliver it in, which is the spirit of your brother, the spirit of love, and of course, and always in the spirit and in the name of God. So family, I leave you, right, in that spirit, in the language of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.